violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
We're also learning more about a shooting that happened on Monday night. Atlanta police called to the Wyatt's Country Barbecue. That's on Memorial Drive, where police say they found one man who was shot and he later died from his injuries.
Can't even go to the Country Barbecue, get you some ribs, get you, a sloppy Joe or something like that without encountering one of these super gremlins on demon time. Guys, Atlanta is on fire. And if people don't start to wake up and realize what's going on, I'm afraid that, honestly, I genuinely believe we've already lost the city, but, there's still some type of hope, right? But nobody's talking about these situations. In this instance, I believe it was a 61-year-old man who was deleted. I mean, how does this make sense? Where the elders are free game. Only in the community.
Officers say they did detain a possible suspect on the scene, but they are investigating what exactly happened here.
Other stories we're tracking for you on this Saturday night. Atlanta police trying to figure out why a man was shot to death in his apartment late last night. It happened just after 10 p.m. at a group of apartment complexes along Oak Street. That is near West Inn Park. When police arrived, they found 61-year-old Odysse Turner shot multiple times. He was taken to Grady, where he later died. APD has not provided any other details and has not yet made.
Told you guys about these apartments in the A. It's completely OV.
When police arrived, they found 61-year-old Odysse Turner shot multiple times. He was taken to Grady, where he later died. APD has not provided any other details and has not yet made an arrest.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jenquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jenquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your
Y'all done with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
over your
more do you want from me?
Breaking news this afternoon, Atlanta police investigating a shooting at Greenbrier Mall in southwest Atlanta. Police say one person's been shot. And Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez live at Greenbrier Mall now in southwest Atlanta. Ty.
Justin, this entire mall has been shut down while Atlanta police investigate. As you see these cars all leaving the property, there are several detectives up further ahead there. They told us to leave the property, so we're here just where you can see.
So they shooting up the mall again. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. From food deserts to mall deserts, the community is just dry. It's just dry. Nobody wants to do business in the community when they're in fear for their safety. Okay, the only ones who have the cojones to sit up there and tolerate that stuff are the Asians and the Arabs, but you know, y'all giving them hell too. And then sooner or later, they're going to get tired of it too and say, hey, well, y'all handle it yourself. Y'all create your own liquor stores. Y'all create your own shopping centers, Dollar Trees, franchise it, whatever you got to do, Dollar Generals. But you're on your own with this one. You guys manage the stores. You guys, you know, fulfill the employment obligations to keep the store running. I mean, this is what the community just doesn't think about when they enable situations like this, like shooting up the mall, to happen.
What I am told is that a person was shot multiple times inside a phone store. And I'll tell you, people who were inside the mall working in other stores didn't even know what was going on. I talked to 2 staff members from 2 different stores, and they were asking me what happened, even though they were very close to where police say this all happened. So again, police are investigating a person who got shot multiple times inside a phone store, inside Greenbrier Mall. The entire mall has been shut down while police investigate. As soon as we get more information, we'll get it to you. We're live in Southwest Atlanta. Taisha Fernandez, Channel 2.
To an overnight murder that we've been on top of all morning. It was an emotional scene as the young mother learned her son's father is possibly the victim.
Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm is live in Southeast Atlanta this morning. Rebecca, any confirmation yet on who that victim is for sure?
Rob, no official confirmation from authorities, but I want to tell you just a few minutes ago, the young woman you just referred to came back to the scene. She didn't want to go on camera, but she did tell me that the victim is indeed the father of her young son. And I want to show you because see that yellowish beige house there with the window open? That is where police spent several hours in the front yard overnight where the...
You see, man, this is the game. House gets shot up. Looks like it's up for sale the next day.
Body was found. We were able to move in closer once detectives cleared the scene. The call came in at a little after midnight. This is on Woodland Avenue, not far from Moreland Avenue. The woman said she came initially when she learned the father of her son had been shot. Well, she nearly broke down when she spoke with police, realizing it was possible it was him who'd been killed. She later got that confirmation. She says he was just 19 years old and that he did not live here at the home. There were several bullet shell casings in the street. So detectives are trying to figure out if this was some sort of drive-by shooting or if the shooter was perhaps on foot.
So he was 19. He got caught lacking. He didn't live there. And it looks like the Super Gremlins pulled up and aired it out on him. I told you guys we're living in an op culture where a lot of individuals are manufacturing ops. Manufacturing ops is a real term, guys. And these people are creating enemies out of people they have no business necessarily beefing with.
2 neighbors are telling me off camera they heard gunshots. One neighbor heard 4 very loud gunshots. Another heard what sounded like 15 or so gunshots over about a 5-minute period. One of the police supervisors told us detectives spent the overnight hours interviewing witnesses, trying to figure out exactly what happened here. And back here live, so far, we do not have a suspect description or a vehicle description. If we get anything else, we'll certainly let you know. The woman told me that she and the boy's mother are now headed to the coroner's office to try to officially confirm whether that is indeed that 19-year-old man who died here. Live in Southeast Atlanta, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
So meanwhile, new at 5 o'clock, an Atlanta-based startup promises affordable and safe housing. But a local man says that second part, safety, that's what's in question. Channel 2 consumer investigator Justin Gray is here now. Justin, we've been hearing complaints about pad split for more than 3 years now.
George, pad split residents can rent a furnished room in a rental house through pad split at a reasonable weekly rate. But this is not the first pad split resident to reach out to us worried about their safety.
The whole house started shaking
and I woke up and someone was kicking the front door.
Mark Condit rents a room in a 7-bedroom College Park home through Pad Split. The Atlanta-based startup says its mission is to help solve the affordable housing crisis, renting rooms for $150 to $250 a week, promising
$150 and $250 a week. It's like $600 a month. And guys, what type of crowd are you going to attract? You're not going to attract classy people. You're going to attract the guys who, you know, for one, see this as an opportunity to come up on lower income individuals by distributing narcotics or illegal substances to them. So it's definitely a come up. But there's so many issues that can arise when you have a very cheap rent. Okay, there's no real barrier to entry. Okay, you have to understand that.
a background check of every resident.
Pad Split, they offer a service that is affordable. They don't offer safety.
Condit says when he went to see why someone was banging on the door, a fellow resident pointed a gun to his head.
Like, literally, gun to the face.
Mm.
I kept my calm, and I didn't get shot, but at the same time, I
kept his calm. He didn't get shot, and you can see his hat. It says "Water Boys" in the hood. So he's completely in support of the Water Boys. And this is kind of what he was asking for, honestly. If you're in support of the Water Boys, you're in support of the Jack Boys, the guys who are putting pistols in your face and intending on robbing you.
I don't think anybody should have to live in conditions like that.
Pad Split is wants to be a good neighbor. Okay.
Back in 2020, Channel 2 Action News was there as angry Pad Split neighbors flooded the DeKalb County Courthouse. That case against Pad Split for allegedly violating zoning laws is still pending in Superior Court. Residents then told us about unsafe and unsanitary conditions in their Pad Splits.
I wouldn't refer my enemy there.
I felt unsafe.
In December last year, the city of South Fulton changed zoning laws after complaints about overcrowded Pad Split homes with overflowing trash. Mark Condit twice had a previous Pad Split flood, so Pad Split moved him to the College Park home, where he says his calls for help to Pad Split after the gun was pulled went unanswered.
They still haven't gotten back to me with anything other than an automated email that says your ticket has been received.
We reached out to Pad Split, who said, quote, Pad Split takes the safety of its members very seriously. As in all cases where members' safety is at issue, we immediately instructed Mr. Condit to contact the police if he felt threatened and informed him that he had the right to file for a temporary protective order. Condit told us he called police that night but was afraid to move forward because he shares the house with the person who pulled the gun. That lawsuit Pad Split is facing in DeKalb County for code violations. 3 years and counting, it is still underway.
And it makes me wonder how many other people have had problems and complaints too. I'm so glad you're looking into it.
Yeah, and it's an alternative, right, to pay cheaper rent, but still, you got to be careful what you do. Justin, thanks you.
Thanks, Justin.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot. By the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video. All right, guys. So, man, I mean, these activists, these social justice warriors, these advocates for equity and equality and inclusivity are dropping like flies, man. They're dropping like flies. It is absolutely ridiculous what is going on in, I mean, it's in the community, but it's leaking out into these other groups. Guys, this is absolutely insane. Now I want to share my screen and talk about this. So we're going to go on Twitter first, like we did yesterday, to kind of see who is saying what and how we, or the collective community on Twitter or X, whatever, feels about this murder. So we got Cassandra says Ryan Carson's girlfriend, Claudia Morales, refused to provide a description of his black killer to police because she's an ACAB leftist. And now she's started a GoFundMe page to make money off his death. I would tell her to eat trash. Excuse me, but that's cannibalism. Wow. So the girlfriend literally started a GoFundMe and she wouldn't give a description. No wonder she didn't jump in, because she saw a way to profit from this. Let's see. Let's see if we can find this GoFundMe really quickly. Ryan Carson. Just want to confirm it. You know, Twitter, they be saying some bullshit. Okay. So it does show that these are the women, or these are the people who started the GoFundMe. So let's get into it. It says, Ryan Carson. We are a collective of Ryan's close friends reeling from a brutal loss. We are asking for your help on behalf of his partner. So yes, it is the girlfriend, in easing the burden and stress of this horrifying situation so that we can have peace or space and time to grieve. And remember, Ryan, immediate needs are to offset the cost of working class people taking time off of work to properly mourn. If you Google Ryan Carson, you'll hear and now see about the tragedy that struck on early Monday morning. But if you look past the breaking news, you'll see news on his legislative victories. You'll probably find his social media accounts filled with thoughts and memories, and you'll find collections of his artistic works to date. We hope you may find his thoughts on mutual aid, his works of advocacy, and understand that his radical principles of community care, justice, and dismantling an individualized, profit-centered way of life are worth carrying forward in our own communities. How ironic, because this seems like an individualized, profit-centered way of life. In creating a GoFundMe to make money off of. It is the time of remembrance and healing that will allow for reflection. We thank you in advance for any material support you can provide. So this is the GoFundMe. And guys, make sure you like the video, share the video, comment in the chat it up, because YouTube, after my live stream yesterday, YouTube really came after me, man. And they are not sending out any of my notifications anymore. So what I'll say is, I'll play some of the video of the murder, but they might play it in the news clips. But we'll get into it. Matter of fact, we'll just get right into it right now. But I mean, these guys, actually, sorry, I'm all over the place. His Twitter. Damn it, his Twitter is protected, so we can't really see what's going on Twitter. Maybe he has a link. Okay, ryancarson.com. All right, so let's get into his website. Founder, leader, and community builder. Future. A little about me. Over the past 2 decades, I've worked in the tech industry, starting companies, securing investments, and leading teams. One of my proudest achievements is founding Treehouse, an online education platform with 1 million plus students learning how to code. This endeavor equipped our students with valuable skills and drew an investment of $23 million before its acquisition in 2021. So, I mean, it sounds like he's a successful businessman. So all that shit about, individualistic, profit-centered, it's like, I mean, Wasn't he doing that? You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous because he's talking about profit this and profit that, and he's over here starting multi-million-dollar businesses. Okay? It's wild. Okay? It's wild. Let's see. Okay, so he's got a LinkedIn. I mean, these guys, that a lot of them are just really hypocritical. Really hypocritical. But give me 1 second, guys. I got to go on a brief intermission. We will be right back.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jenquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jenquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all killing me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more
shit
do
off.
you want from me?
All right. So, I mean, this guy, he was a successful entrepreneur, so I got to respect that, you know? And it really looks like, it truly looks like his heart was attempting to be in the right place, but it was actually in the wrong place because he's a liberal. Okay? And it's absolutely insane that these situations keep happening. Just yesterday, we literally broke this down. Okay? We literally broke this down where we had Josh Kruger, who was deleted in his own home. Okay? So there's a lot of these things going on. And these are the same people who advocated for defund the police, the same people who advocate for the criminal justice reform, the same people who advocate for these soft on crime DAs. All right. And now they're being picked off seemingly one by one. And all of it is randomized happenstance. Can you believe that? Can you believe that, man? I mean, seriously, all of these deaths are just randomized happenstance, and they're literally, you know, falling to the same things that they're advocating for. All right. And I think the audio of his murder, he's basically trying to plead with the super gremlin, and the super gremlin ain't having it. That's all I said. Guys, you can't reason with these individuals. These super gremlins are on demon time.
And we have this developing story out of Brooklyn where a community advocate was killed in a random stabbing attack. Surveillance video shows the unprovoked confrontation in Bed-Stuy that ended with the 32-year-old victim bleeding on the side.
All right, now, knowing your surroundings, this is absolutely random. You have a super gremlin on the street with a hoodie on. The hoodie falls off. He's in the ugly dread phase where his dreads are like medium length. And I told you about these ugly dread niggas. I mean, they're angry. They are angry. So he has a hoodie on at first.
Surveillance video.
White boy's trying to push him away, and that push, that get away from me. It's not a push for your life. It's not a push for your life. He needs to be pushing for his life because his life depends on him fighting. And his woman, obviously, she is a super hard leftist feminist. She's just sitting there like, oh, wow, they're playing. That's what it looks like.
Video shows the unprovoked confrontation in Bed-Stuy.
And then he's not aware of his surroundings, trips up on the bench, face plants on the bench. God. Here we go. Watch this in slow motion. Watch this in slow motion, man. Oh my God. Never. And this is another rule that I speak on all the time that, you know, I get chastised for, I get called a coon for. Never turn your back on a super gremlin. Never turn your back on a super gremlin. Now watch this face plant.
Provoke confrontation in Bed-Stuy that ended with the 32-year-old victim bleeding on the sidewalk. News 4's Melissa Colorado takes us to the crime scene tonight as the NYPD looks for the killer.
My name is Ryan Carson, and I'm a political organizer and policy analyst.
Sitting on his stoop in Brooklyn, Ryan Carson is seen in this campaign video lobbying for more safe injection sites in New York.
Together, we can end overdose deaths.
The 32-year-old from Bed-Stuy was a rising star in the world of public policy, passionate about climate change, social justice, and harm reduction. During his downtime, he was a poet, his work published in literary journals. We spoke to Carson's boss, the executive director.
Don't watch me dancing. Interesting.
Of the New York Public Interest Research Group.
It's a terrible tragedy. The world will be somewhat less well off because of his absence.
That's when a man in a hoodie walking by.
Oh, y'all saying that it's not the same guy on the website? Okay, I'm sorry. I guess I was like, what the hell? He don't seem like. All right, gotcha. It ain't the same guy on the website. So he's well, hold on. Okay, it's not the same guy. I don't know why they got his information pulling up. But yeah, anyways, my bad for that then. I'll probably cut that out. But either way, it's crazy. You have the guy, he's a political influencer, if you will, and ends up taking a face plant and getting deleted by a super gremlin that he was most likely advocating for.
It starts to become aggressive. The man is heard cursing and threatening Carson, telling him, "I will kill you right now." You hear Carson trying to de-escalate the situation. The man, who appears to be holding a knife in his right hand, takes a swing at Carson's face. Carson tries to run away, but trips over the bus bench. He falls to the ground directly at the feet of his killer. We've stopped the video before the suspect stabs Carson multiple times.
I'm shaking right now. Not
Damn.
because I'm nervous to be on the camera, but because I saw that video.
Stabbed him multiple times. He didn't know this man at all.
And all of that was done in front of his poor girlfriend.
While Carson is left bleeding on the pavement, the suspect spits at Carson's girlfriend.
Wow, spit at the bitch. Crazy.
And then kicks him before the killer runs away.
Sad that he was killed by someone that he advocated for.
So you hear it right there. So even the leftists, even the LGBT community knows, hey, he was killed by somebody that he advocated for. Oh, shout out to C Webb for the $100 Cash App. Wow.
Oh, say less.
Yeah, I appreciate the donations. Guys, hit the Cash App, hit the Super Trap, hit the PayPal, hit the GoFundMe, hit the Patreon. Guys, support the channel because I am demonetized on all platforms, and pretty much they don't want my message to get out there. They don't want you to see me with this handy dandy Trump hat trying to make America great again.
On these streets.
In Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, Melissa Colorado, News 4 New York.
So, I mean, what can you really say about these situations other than, you voted for this. And that's why my infamous line should be coined, because I continue to say, hey, they're voting for this. They're voting for this. They're begging for this. They're begging to be slaughtered. And even with his stab wounds, I bet that he would want the police defunded. Like in his last breath, I guarantee that he was saying, we have to fix the institutionalized racism that causes these events. Are the cameras still on? No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, it's crazy what's going on out here, guys. I mean, and that's pretty much their stance, even to the death. I'm on your side, man. We're on the same team. No.
Good evening. I'm Jessica Moore in for Christine Johnson.
I'm Maurice Dubois. Today, police released new information about the stabbing and killing of an activist in Brooklyn as officers search for a person of interest.
CBS 2's Hannah Klieger is live tonight on the corner of Malcolm X Boulevard and Lafayette Avenue. She has new video showing what happened leading up to that attack. Hannah?
Yeah, police may be getting one step closer to figuring out who did this, and we are getting a better idea of what may have happened in the moments leading up to the fatal stabbing. In this video obtained by the New York Post, you can see 31-year-old Ryan Carson and a female companion sitting on a bench at the bus stop around 4 Monday morning.
An unidentified male wearing a Champion brand hoodie walks past the couple. There is no interaction at all between them.
And what you guys have to understand is it doesn't matter how hard you advocate for this, and it doesn't matter how much you stick up for black folks. These people, especially in these inner cities, you can be advocate this, advocate that. For one, you're still white, so they still hate you. And, you know, that's it really is unfortunate. And I wish that I could in some way stop it. But I don't know what else to call it than blatant, outright racism. They hate you just because you're white. It doesn't matter if you say, well, defund the police, or, you know, Black Lives Matter, or, you know, George Floyd was a saint, or institutionalized racism is what's causing all this crime to increase, or, you know, we need to attack the criminal justice system and the racist criminal justice system and this, that, and the third. It doesn't matter if you're advocating for them. They hate you solely based off of the fact that you are white. And it pains me to say it. It sucks because, you know, we fought so hard to get rid of, you know, this mindset, and to have what they pretty much are now calling reverse racism, quote unquote, because they say it's not racist because you can't be racist if you're not in a position of power. Which, how do you define a position of power? Because last time I checked, that guy was in a physical position of power over that guy, the black guy, the Supergirl. He's in a physical position of power over Ryan Carson. So how do you define a position of power? Because you got a black guy right here, and he's more powerful physically than Ryan Carson. So are we talking about political power? Are we talking about financial power? Are we? So you can't just say, oh, the definition of racism only applies to those who wield power, because there's multiple different types of power. Okay. So, I mean, it's absolutely insane. Shout out to Dylan with the $10 Cash App. He says, I just hit the Cash App. Thanks, Gen Z. Great content.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Yes, sir. Dylan Mitchell is definitely outside with that Cash App, and it's greatly appreciated to support the channel.
The male in the hoodie walks about approximately 40 feet from the couple. He suddenly stops.
Investigators say the man started kicking mopeds and scooters on the sidewalk, then turns to Carson and says, "What are you looking at?"
Mr. Carson immediately places himself between the male and his female companion to protect her. It begins to immediately tries to de-escalate.
All right, and this is when the situational, microaggressive racism has to come out. Right? I mean, respectfully. You are walking, you're for one, you start off sitting on a bench. Then you're walking down the street and you see a super gremlin kicking mopeds. I'm sorry, but it's time to cross the street. It's time to hit that cross the street meme. You know what I'm saying? Like the meme that they're calling a white supremacist meme, which, I mean, it's just practical advice. You see an unhinged super gremlin in the streets of New York kicking mopeds down, property that is not his, and you think that that sidewalk is still safe. This is why the liberals are getting picked off one by one. This is where you cross the street. If there's any time to cross the street, hey, nobody's gonna blame you and say, oh, you're racist for crossing the street. Nobody's gonna blame you. They're gonna be like, thank God, another day under the sun. Right? Because wouldn't you rather cross the street, be accused of being racist, even though you're a raging liberal, cross the street, be accused of being racist rather than being under the street? Doesn't, I mean, even a black person's got to cross the street at this point or beat the shit out of them. That's the only option that you have. So if you're not ready to beat the fuck out of this little nigga, then you better cross the damn street. I don't give a fuck what they telling you. Oh, it's racist to cross the street when you see a black person. Hey, man, I don't even get mad when people cross the street because I'm like, shit, I wanted the sidewalk to myself. Like, y'all have to start really thinking, really understanding. Now, I can understand if this was a upstanding citizen. He had his pants up right, shirt tucked in. He's walking down the street. He nods at you. Hey, how you doing? Keeps it moving. You're on the bench. He walks past you. Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all have a lovely night. It's a little late. Get home quick now. Get home safe now. It's a little late. All right. Y'all have a good night. Keep walking. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't feel like crossing the street there. He's not a threat. But when this guy, I'm telling you, a lot of these super gremlins are on wish a nigga would time. And if you are not aware of wish a nigga would time, it essentially means that they're waiting for something, that they want something to happen. They want a racist incident to happen. And if it doesn't happen, they're going to manufacture it. This is a manufacture. What you say to me? What the hell you say to me, white boy? Like, and he didn't say a damn thing to him. What you call me a nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a manufactured situation because in their minds, he has to have a reason. Even though I always say, hey, there's never a real reason, and there isn't a real reason why he did this, but in his mind, he had to have a reason. So there are a lot of super gremlins who are on demon time, and they're essentially looking for conflict, looking for somebody to say, hey man, I don't think you should be kicking other people's property. It's not yours. What you say to me, nigga? You called me a nigga? Why are you talking to me? Because I'm black? Like, I'm telling you, that's and it's like, no, I wasn't calling you out because you're black. I actually just saw you damaging other people's property, and I thought that it was rude, disrespectful, unkind, and because I'm a good guy, or I believe myself to be a good guy, I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna do the right thing, and and it cost him his life.
Between the male and his female companion to protect her. It begins to immediately tries to de-escalate the situation.
That's when police say the suspect pulls out a knife and swings at him. Carson trips and falls to the ground, and the assailant stabs him 3 times, piercing his heart, then kicked him, threatened the woman, and spit in her face.
Yeah, that woman is lucky to be alive.
Carson was pronounced dead at the hospital. Loved ones held a vigil here on Monday night, just steps away from the home he shared with his roommates. Many remembered him for his sense of purpose and his desire to help others. Carson was known for his activism against opioid overdoses. For the last decade, he worked at New York Public Interest Research Group, most recently dealing with recycling and solid waste.
It's been very hard on everyone that knew him. Everybody loves him here.
Back at the bus stop where the violence unfolded, strap hangers are on edge.
It frightens me because I have children that travel back and forth for college and work at late hours of the night.
Today, police say they have a person of interest who they are looking for.
We would never, call somebody out as being a criminal until we had established.
What the fuck? We would never call somebody out of being I mean, why are they even having this language? We would never want to offend a criminal, but so we're not going to put out a description because the description fits damn near every nigga in Brooklyn. I mean, it's wild.
Probable cause to make an arrest.
He says probable cause. You got a fucking video right there.
And investigators say they have received several leads that brought them to this person of interest. Of course, this is still an active investigation, so anyone who has more information is asked to call NYPD Crime Stoppers. For now, we're live in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Hannah Klieger, CBS 2 News.
All right, Hannah, thank you.
Woo! So you have it, man. I mean, they just don't get it either. They won't get it. They're going to stand on the liberal talking points, and they don't understand that they have literally caused this issue. So that goes back to Ryan Kruger's, or is it Brian Kruger? Let me see. Or sorry, Josh Kruger. That goes back to Josh Kruger's tweet. He said, or not Josh Kruger's tweet, but Scott Adams' tweet where he says, hey, if Biden gets elected, you'll be dead in a year. And, Josh Kruger had a reply to that, and then he's dead in 2 years. 2-3 years. I mean, it didn't take long.
Justice advocate who was on a mission to make New York a better place, stabbed to death on the streets of Crown Heights, Brooklyn. People who knew Ryan Carson say he dedicated his life to trying to making things better in this town. And as CBS 2's Lisa Rosner reports, tonight police are looking for his killer.
Carrying candles, dozens of friends and family of 32-year-old Ryan Thorson Carson gathered Monday night at this Bedford-Stuyvesant park to remember his life. Police say about a mile away, just before 4 a.m., the longtime government advocate was stabbed at Lafayette Avenue and Malcolm X Boulevard. Sources say he was standing on the street with his girlfriend when the suspect approached and asked, "What are you looking at?" before stabbing Carson multiple times in the chest.
Damn. So he just said, "What are you looking at?" and then went off. I told you these niggas are looking for a wish a nigga would moment.
Carson multiple times in the chest. He was pronounced dead at Kings County Hospital.
I was absolutely in disbelief.
Assemblywoman Emily Gallagher knew Carson before becoming a politician. They bonded over losing close friends to drug overdoses. In 2021, he walked from New York City to Albany to lobby for safe injection facilities. He started No ODNY and campaigned with this video.
I'm a political organizer and policy analyst from Brooklyn, New York. Like many people, my life has been shaped by the opioid epidemic.
For the last decade, he was a campaign manager with the New York Public Interest Research Group, most recently dealing with recycling and solid waste.
Trying to deal with the unreclaimed bottles and cans that litter New York streets. But he's been involved with lots of projects with us over the years.
As for the suspect, sources tell us police do not have a physical description, but the person was acting irrationally prior to the attack. Distraught friends tell us Carson had a gift for bringing joy to others, but also comfort in hard times.
If you wanted to talk, he was absolutely always ready to talk, always there for you. It's hard when the person that you go to talk about grief is the one who died. So, yeah.
Police say no arrests have been made. The investigation is ongoing. In Bedford-Stuyvesant, Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.
And police say Carson's girlfriend was not injured in the attack.
Yeah, because she didn't do shit. But, I mean, it's wild because they still don't get it. They don't get it, man, and they probably never will. That's the wildest part. Like, they don't get that everything that they've been advocating for the last 2 years has led to the demise of now a second journalist, a well-known journalist at that.
Police in Brooklyn are searching for a killer who apparently stabbed a man to death for no reason. Officers say Ryan Carson was waiting for a bus in Bed-Stuy with his girlfriend early yesterday morning. They were on their way home from a wedding when a man came over, asked what he was looking at, then repeatedly stabbed Carson in the chest. Friends and family gathering at a vigil last night. We talked to Carson's boss at the New York Public Interest Research Group.
It's incredibly tragic. A life full of promise is snuffed out, and the world is the worst place for it.
And that part I don't necessarily agree with. The world is a worse place for the things that he was advocating for. The criminal justice reform, the world is a worse place. The no cash bail, the world is a worse place. The illegal immigration, the world is a worse place. Okay. The lenient sentences, the world is a worse place. So everything that he advocated for made the world a worse place. Therefore, his elimination in this world, I'm not going to say that it makes the world a better place, but it doesn't make the world a worse place. It just shows how bad the world is because of the things that he advocated for.
And we'll miss him dearly.
Police say they are looking through surveillance video as they continue their search for the killer.
So this is going to become extremely common, guys. These types of murders are going to become extremely common, and you're going to see them every week, if not every day.
Well, the video you're watching is more than disturbing. It is a murder. The murder of a young social activist stabbed out of nowhere early Monday morning.
His name was Ryan Carson, 32 years old. He stabbed several times as his girlfriend watched the whole thing. The man who did it on the run tonight. But now, New York cops using this video say they know who he is. They just don't know where he is.
With the latest, here's Kimberly Richardson.
We are here today to talk about overdose prevention centers.
An unwavering passion for change, Ryan Carson, as one person put it, brimmed with positivity and joy. Many are now broken by his death. The 32-year-old was murdered early Monday morning in Bed-Stuy. Now new information about this man, the suspect. Authorities believe he's 18 years old and lives roughly 500 feet from the crime scene. Surveillance video, part of a police investigation, shows Ryan and his girlfriend sitting on a bench. The suspect walks past. They do not interact. The couple gets up and trails behind the suspect, who kicks mopeds and scooters. Then things take a sudden, violent turn.
This male then turns his attention to Mr. Carson, stating, "What are you looking at?" Mr. Carson immediately places himself between the male and his female companion to protect her.
Ryan tries de-escalating the situation, but the suspect now has a knife. Ryan backs up, stumbles over that same bench, and while on the ground, the suspect delivers those fatal blows. What happened next is a critical part of this investigation.
An unidentified female then arrives on the scene and begins to apologize to the couple, and she mutters the name Brian.
A possible suspect's name.
Wow. So you have a sister who is housing this super gremlin. I mean, what did you guys expect? Of course, there's a sister behind every insane, violent super gremlin. It's a sister saying, "Come on, baby, lay your head on my bosom. Oh, yeah, I'm going to just get you cleaned up and get you some food." Well, she probably ain't cooking. She going to DoorDash that bitch. But, I mean, who would have thought, right?
Name. This is that woman, police say, his girlfriend, who was here where Memorial now stands.
Hello, my name is Ryan Carson.
Ryan had his hands in many pots, causes that were near and dear to him. Called a magnificent person, one friend saying Ryan accomplished more in his 32 years on this earth than most people have in a longer lifetime.
Man, so there you have it. I mean, this guy seemed like he was a nice guy. It seemed like he, had people who cared about him, but obviously that doesn't stop these super gremlins. That only emboldens them. Okay. It makes them want to kill you even more because they want to see that pain. They want to see that sorrow. They want to see your family mourning because, quite frankly, in their minds, they believe you deserve it. And I know, as twisted as it sounds, that's just the reality. Okay. That's just the facts. All right. So, you guys are going to have to really start focusing on protecting yourselves and your families, because get out of these liberal cities where you can't own a firearm. Get out of these liberal cities where you can't defend yourself, because this type of stuff is only going to increase. And I've already predicted we have 2 more decades of increasing crime, and it's going to increase every single decade. I'm telling you this right now.
Rallying cry echoed through streets and courtyards in Bedford-Stuyvesant Tuesday night. Coco Purvis led the Brooklyn March in the wake of 2 murders in as many days here.
This is not business as usual. Like, we're going to be outside making noise and
How?
taking our communities back.
I'm sorry. How is it not business as usual? So, just a few years ago, they were advocating to defund the police, advocating for criminal justice reform, advocating for no cash bail, especially in New York City, and they got it. They got it all. And now, it's not business as usual. How is it not? Niggas die every day, B. Why is it different when this guy gets killed? It's crazy, because you have Black women who care more about the death of, and I'm not saying, these deaths are unequal and balanced in ways, but she cares more about the death of a white liberal than the multiple Black men, women, and children who are being killed in Brooklyn. She ain't say shit until this man got killed. I mean, it's wild. They weren't organizing protests for Black men and Black women getting shot in the street by other Black men. Now, if it was a white man who did it, yeah, we organizing the protest. We got Ben Crump at the Cribbo. We got Al Sharpton. Yeah, you come to the cookout. But when it comes to Black on Black crime, nowhere to be found. Once a white man gets stabbed, now they're all over it. It doesn't make sense. Because in the same breath, they'll say, oh, well, all white people are racist. All white people have internalized racism. But then when it comes to Black men and women and children being killed in the streets of New York City, you don't see any protests. Guys, we've been covering New York for fucking years. The only time we really saw a group gather is when they was coming after them Asians. Now, the Asian community, they came together and they stood up. They didn't fight back, but they did with political power. They did with their political prowess. Okay, you haven't really. I mean, the Asians are still, under attack, but you haven't seen as much as it was in New York, especially these subway attacks. You haven't seen as many on Asians specifically before they really started being more vocal. So, I mean, what am I really saying here? I'm saying she's an anti-violence advocate. But she's out here, and it took the murder of this white man for them to really come outside and say, hey, this isn't business as usual. I'm sorry to break it to you, ma'am, but this is absolutely business as usual. This goes down every single day in Brooklyn. This goes down every single day in the Bronx. This goes down every single day in New York City.
Most recently, a deadly encounter early Monday. That's Ryan Carson trying to calm a man who'd passed by seconds earlier near the Lafayette Avenue and Malcolm X Boulevard bus stop. The suspect in a Champion sweatshirt.
Yeah, see, right then when he walked by, y'all should have got up, crossed the street, and it would have been over. He would have been alive to this day.
Appears agitated. Seconds earlier, knocking over mopeds. Carson and his girlfriend were almost home from a wedding when the 32-year-old victim tries to diffuse the man's anger. Then Carson appears threatened, tripping over a bench and begging for his life before he's stabbed to death.
I'm gonna call 911. He was like 6'4", and he's quite solid. So he would really come and stand between
Yeah, I mean, if he's 6'4", that super gremlin don't look over like 5'10". Why the fuck didn't he just mollywop the nigga? I mean, I know he had a knife. He just wasn't quick enough. You see, when that super gremlin slashed that knife across his neck and throat, he wasn't quick enough to boom, matrix that shit, and then come back with maybe a grapple or something. But his guard was obviously down because the media has been telling him, hey, black men are harmless. And, you know, I'm not saying, oh, every black man's going to do this. But what I am saying is the floodgates have been open in New York City. The floodgates have been open in these democratic cities. And you genuinely, and like, it's literally just, you have to profile. Like, how is this guy dressed? Okay, you know, seems like a reasonable guy, has his pants pulled up. I mean, that's the best that you can do at this point. That's the best you could do at this point. Okay? But in his mind, he's like, okay, all black people are harmless. So let me get a little closer. Knife to the neck. Guys, it's 4 a.m. You got a super gremlin with a hoodie on and the hood over his head. I mean, shit's got to start making sense.
You in harm's way.
State Assemblywoman Emily Gallagher worked with Carson on advocacy projects from waste management.
The price of a nickel in 1982 far exceeds what it is now.
To opioid addiction.
It was a real life's mission for him.
Completely dedicated his life to other people, in his, like I said, in his personal life and in his professional life.
Wow. Yeah, man. I mean, y'all better stop playing with this shit, man. Y'all better stop playing with this shit because this is not a game. This is not a game. But you see time and time again, you have these people who are saying, hey, you know, there's nothing to fear. The streets are safe. Crime is down. All honky-dory. Bidenomics. And that's just not the case.
Beloved local activist is stabbed to death while waiting for a bus.
Fox 5's Lisa Evers has more on who he was and how he became such a fixture in his community.
A photo of 32-year-old Ryan Carson sits amid candles in Von King Park, where a vigil was held in his memory Monday night. The social justice and human rights activist had made his home in Brooklyn for more than a decade. He was waiting at a bus stop with his girlfriend about 4 a.m. Monday. The NYPD says this suspect came up to him, demanding to know what he was looking at, then fatally stabbed him multiple times in the chest. This grandfather, who's lived here for 50 years, tells us,
I usually feel safe around here, but I'll have my head on a swivel from now on.
About a mile away, outside his apartment in Bed-Stuy.
And it's crazy. He's been living there for 50 years and he's just now feeling that way. It's crazy.
We spoke with his roommate, who is devastated by his loss and asked us not to show his face.
He was committed to his direct personal relationships, the community he was in, and the city and the world at large. He was... I have never met another person like him.
New York State Assembly member Emily Gallagher, who'd worked with him on various issues, posted a tribute on X. For more than a decade, Ryan Carson had been a staff member at NYPIRG. Executive Director Blair Horner says in a statement, Ryan was a consummate team player who would happily undertake the basic blocking and tackling tasks necessary to advance and win on it.
And I ain't gonna lie, he got a few too many gay friends for me to believe that woman he was with was his girlfriend. You know, a lot of these guys take these women on dates and the girl knows he's gay and he knows he's gay and they're going out on a night to make it look good for maybe potentially political purposes. But I mean, this guy, what is this? This is the third gay nigga that's speaking on his behalf. Like, I'm telling you right now, this dude is not heterosexual, bro. No way. No fucking way. Because I swear to God, when I die, it's not going to be this many gay niggas who going to be, oh, yeah, he was such a great person. Like, what?
But also shined in the spotlight as a leader, campaign manager, and spokesperson. Most recently, Carson had been fighting for overdose prevention centers to save lives, says his roommate.
I'm upset. I'm grieving. But I do keep thinking about
I mean, his roommate is gay. So and then the other dude who was speaking on his behalf and speaking on his character was gay. It's just too many gay niggas for me to really say, okay, yeah, this guy was straight. He was with his girlfriend. There ain't no way that was his girl.
How many other people in his personal life have been affected by this? And them. And also, what a genuine loss this is for the city of New York.
Police also say that the suspect had been acting erratically before the deadly attack, turning over scooters on the street. They're asking anyone with information to call 1-800-577-TIPS. In Brooklyn, I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News.
Woo! So that one was deep, y'all. That one was deep. I mean, we're at the hour mark. It's pretty straight away. It's pretty straightforward. He went woke. He croaked. And that is all that she wrote. Okay, bars, you feel me? But yeesh, man, these guys, they're never going to learn. I'm convinced they're never going to learn. Okay, they're going to continue to vote left. They're going to continue to advocate for these far left policies, criminal justice reform, lax policing, all of these things they are going to keep pushing because now that they've been exposed, now that a couple of their teammates have been deleted by the same thing that they're advocating for, now they've been exposed, they have to double down. This is what you guys may not understand. They have to double down now. Now they have to say, white supremacists are taking this death and you know, they're sensationalizing it and saying that it was because this, you know, so now they have to, you know, do the liberal hamster wheel and figure out how they can justify why their beliefs are still the right beliefs, but at the same time honor the man's death. And you can't do both. You can't do both. You have to call out the bullshit in order to honor his death, in order to avenge him, in order to rectify, which there is no rectifying the taking of a life. But to the best of your ability, that's what you have to do. Okay? This is what you guys got to understand. So I want to see what you guys think in the comment section below. I appreciate everybody who joined the stream. We are going to wrap it up because I do have to go. You know, I like these little quick live streams. I wish I could go on longer, but, you know, the way my schedule's looking. So, guys, make sure you hit the Cash App, PayPal, the GoFundMe. There is no Super Trap. I am demonetized on all platforms. I am demonetized on all of my YouTube videos. So it would really help and, you know, benefit the channel if you guys like the video, comment on the video, and, you know, put something in the collection plate. That's really all I'm asking. You don't have to. Likes are free, comments are free, and that honestly is what I would prefer. Shares especially, but you know, you can drop something in the collection plate. It'll be greatly appreciated. But with that being said, you already know what it is, man. We are going to send it off to Jenquavius Jackson to take us away. So y'all have a good night. Peace. Be safe. These super gremlins are on demon time. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured, but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo!
Whoa.
Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass song.
That's that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.